So imagine this. A friend walks up to you, they're super excited, and they're wearing this brand new coat. They do a little spin, they smile, and they ask you this exact question. So what do you say? Especially if, you think the coat is, well, just awful. It's such a simple question, but the answer can feel incredibly complicated.
You see, that one moment, that simple question about a coat, it really gets to the heart of this classic social dilemma we all face. Is telling the absolute, unfiltered truth always the right thing to do? Or is there a time and a place for what we call white lies?
So yeah, in this explainer, we're going to really dive into this whole world of white lies. We'll explore why we tell them, the arguments for them, and of course, the very strong case for being completely honest, no matter what.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start with that uncomfortable question. Then we'll define exactly what a white lie is. After that, we'll look at why we use them to protect feelings. Then flip it and look at the case for total honesty. And finally, we'll ask, is this whole thing just a necessary social skill?
Okay, first up, let's talk about that really uncomfortable feeling, the one that puts two big ideas head to head, the truth versus the lie.
I mean, think about it. From the moment we're kids, right, the message is just drilled into us. Lying is bad, period. Honesty is good, dishonesty is bad. We're taught to see the world in, black and white. But then we grow up, and suddenly that super black and white world, it's filled with all these shades of gray. We learn pretty quickly that in our social lives, with our friends and family, sometimes telling the pure, unvarnished truth can actually cause more harm than good. We find ourselves needing to kind of dance around it.
So what is this tool we use to get through all those gray areas? Let's nail down a proper definition so we're all on the same page.
Okay, so here it is. A white lie really has two main parts. First, it's got to be small, right? We're not talking about some huge, complicated deception. And second, and this is the important part, the whole point, the motivation, is to protect someone else's feelings. Now, to really get into this whole discussion, there are a few key English phrases that are super helpful to know. When you don't tell the truth, you tell a lie. The whole reason for a white lie is to avoid hurting somebody's feelings. And if a lie gets more serious, well, it might cause you to feel guilty. These are really the building blocks for talking about this stuff.
All right, let's dig a little deeper into that main reason for telling a white lie: protecting someone's feelings.
Yeah, let's go back to our friend in that interesting new coat. When they ask for your opinion, are they actually asking for a full-on fashion review? Probably not. More often than not, what they're really looking for is reassurance, a little sign of your support. They just want to feel good, and a white lie can deliver that.
And honestly, this is just a huge part of how we interact with each other. For most of us, telling a friend their new coat looks great, even if we don't think so, is almost automatic. It helps things go smoothly. We do it without a second thought, and it doesn't make us feel like bad people. It just feels normal.
Okay, but what about the other side of the coin? Let's flip this around and make the case for being totally 100% honest.
Because, there are people out there who just don't do white lies at all. They're all about honesty, even when it's kind of awkward or makes them unpopular. For them, being direct is way more important than sparing someone's feelings.
This quote really sums it up perfectly. These people always speak their mind, no matter how insensitive other people might find them. That's their whole philosophy right there. The risk of being seen as insensitive is worth it to them, for the sake of the truth.
But here's the surprising part. A lot of the time, their friends just accept it. They know what they're signing up for. It's just part of who that person is. And sometimes they even admire that deep commitment to the truth. They see it as real integrity.
So, okay, we've got these two totally different ways of handling things, right? One that's all about feelings and another that's all about facts. How do we make sense of this?
Let's break it down. On one hand, you've got the white lie. It protects feelings, it gives people that reassurance they're looking for. But on the other hand, you have the honest truth. Sure, it can be unpopular, but it can also be something people really admire. It's this constant balancing act between social harmony and pure, unfiltered honesty.
So, where does all this leave us? Well, it seems to boil down to this. For the big stuff, the really important matters, things like your health or finances or major life choices, honesty is definitely the best policy. The truth is what's most important there.
But, and this is super important, that doesn't mean white lies are useless. In all those little, everyday moments that make up our social lives, these small fibs aren't just common, you could even say they're kind of necessary to keep our relationships ticking along smoothly.
And that brings us right back to square one. Your friend is standing there, in that coat, just waiting for you to say something. You've heard both sides of the story. Now the choice is yours. What are you going to say?